Soccer, a contact sport. Evidently, some really obsessed Dutch soccer fans got together recently to beat the stuffing out of each other. One person died in the riot just outside of Amsterdam. According to the BBC, several dozen fans from two rival football clubs, IRC and Ajax, have had it in for each other and secretly arranged to meet in an empty lot next to a shopping center one Sunday to beat each other. These fans had a reputation for misbehaving inside the stadiums, but have now taken their show on the road. The police, who had no idea this was happening, showed up after the fact and thus far have made no arrests. The news people got to the head of the Dutch Football Federation to give him a hard time about this disturbing new development. For their part, the Federation does not know what to do and has suggested that the problem is beyond them. When fans are disruptive or violent inside the stadium, that's one thing, but this fight took place more than 10 miles from the nearest match, and while both teams were playing at the time of the riot, they weren't playing each other. Is it just me, or is there something really weird going on here? Like most problems that involve crime or violence, the first impulse is to ask about crime prevention and the police. What are the police doing about this? But this approach, the reactionary approach to crime, fails to solve anything. The more important question is, why are such things happening? Why would soccer fans, even fans from rival teams, feel it necessary to resort to gang fights? What kind of dispute could soccer fans possibly have that would require chains and knives to solve? The answer, obviously, is that soccer fans do not have the kinds of disputes which could, by themselves, motivate dozens of people to conspire to commit assault with a deadly weapon, and murder. Clearly, something else is going on. People having a gang fight over issues which are of no material concern to them are expressing frustration. These people must feel tremendously alienated in their lives, powerless to change the situation, and helpless in the face of the factors that are causing the alienation. I'm sure the right-wing pundits would say that these fans need religion and strong families to discourage this antisocial behavior. The right-wing pundits are, quite predictably, full of it. But this is not a new situation either. The global economy has been in a state of decline and depression. It happens every 6 decades, so there's no point acting all surprised about it. Unemployment rates, even in Europe, have been at record levels for most of the 90s. The social safety net that people in the developed world struggled for in the 1960s, the last global depression, have been under assault by the owning class around the world. Owners are greedy and have decided that workers do not actually need decent jobs at decent wages. Wages have been falling around the world, profits have been skyrocketing, and working people have been suffering as a result. The most disappointing thing about this riot is the reaction to it. When people ask why the police didn't know, they're assuming that the police should have known, which may on the surface seem reasonable. However, the more important question is, why aren't government officials coming up with programs to create decent jobs at living wages? This kind of sociology is not a mystery. The basic facts of social life can be anticipated from the circumstances. When companies can and do fire people whenever they want, cut human beings off from their means of subsistence, with no regard for people's lives, those companies have broken the social contract, shredded it. People without a social contract and without a way to survive are less likely to feel any kind of social bond with the society at large. They are likely to feel a great deal of hostility. It's lucky for the ruling class thus far that these people have vented their frustration on each other. That situation will not continue indefinitely.
And so begins the final drama in the streets and in the fields.
This is Richard Curtis.